When you were first starting a business at a young age, were your parents approving of that, or your friends and family saying that you were an idiot and you were going down the wrong path? Because from personal experience, when I was first starting out, people thought I was the dumbest motherfucker in the world.
Well, did you finish high school?
I didn't go at all my senior year.
Yeah, I mean, think about all the great people in history, right? Talk about like Einstein, and he never went to school, and all the geniuses, they were too smart for their own good. I think if you're interested in something, you're passionate about something, I don't think our educational system is set up to make people critical thinkers and successful people. It's set up to make people complacent and docile and do a little work with things, right? And think about all the successful things that you've done. Most of it's probably collaborative in your lifetime, right? Like you work with certain people to accomplish a goal, create a business. You're working together. You're learning from one another. When you're in school, very rarely are you in teams. Here's your homework. Go home, do a little cube, do your exercises, learn your stuff. And I don't know. I think the fact that you quit, that's admirable, right? If I was going to hire someone, especially like for a sales position or whatever, I'm not looking for a college-educated person anymore. I don't want to hire someone that's been conditioned to think a certain way. I want someone that thinks, hey, I don't really necessarily believe in what they're teaching me. I want to go in a different direction. Those are the kind of people we want to work with because they're critical thinking. They realize, hey, this might not be for me. I commend that.
Who would be, if you could hire the ideal person, what would they look like? Like what position would provide you the most value?
Someone that I can trust, and someone that wants to get after, realistically. And someone that comes in with an open slate, like, you're kind of a sponge. Every time you hear something, every time you learn something, you think about it in a creative way, try to understand the concept. Like in your business, in order to grow the channels that you're growing, in order to do what you're doing, you have to learn every detail. Not every detail, but you need to have a overview understanding of everybody's business in order to help them push their product. And you want someone like that. I want someone like you that is smart, hungry, great attitude, ambitious, wants more in life, wants to be the best version of themselves, and obviously is heading for money.
Yeah.
Not lazy.
Yeah, but because I know what I'm looking for. I can think broadly pretty well. But for me, the actual details and the operating, I'm looking for someone who's an incredible operator on like a very minute-to-minute basis, because I like to think about things on a very long-term time horizon. And I'm terrible at managing or micromanaging people, which I would never want to hire someone that needed to be micromanaged, but at least for Ken's company, it's just operated to such a high degree to where every person knows what they need to do at all times, and it's all tracked. If they're not doing what they need to do, they will fall behind. And the company's culture in itself will kick that person out. And I'm trying to think about how do you build a company like that over the next 10 years, and it is fucking hard. And it's very overwhelming as well.
That's how Ken's company operates?
So right now, every employee has KPIs. It starts with the first initial goal of the company, and right now they want to get to 25,000 apartments in the next 10 years. Right now they're at about 10. And so over the 10 years, that's the goal. Yeah, exactly. It's so awesome.
It's a lot of reps.
But every single quarter, they need to buy like 400 units to be on track for that goal. And so you have a yearly goal, a 5-year goal, a 10-year goal, a quarterly goal, and then daily, you know if you're accomplishing that. And then each subcategory, each subsection of his company is going to have a different KPI that is directed towards that overall mission of the company. And I mean, that is
it weeds out. It keeps the producers and it weeds out the producers.
Now, it also takes the bad guy away from the person firing or making decisions, because you agree that this is what you need to get done. If you don't get this done, then why are you here? And everyone else in his company is performing at such a high level that they don't want to work with people who suck. And so building a company like that, it just is so difficult.
So you also told me, you brought up, and I don't know if you have to cut this later, but they hadn't bought anything in quite a while.
3 years, yeah.
So they didn't buy anything in 3 years, and the goal is to hit 485 units a year or whatever.
Per quarter.
How does that impact the KPI, or is it we're analyzing this many deals? Instead, did they change the goal and they're not able to find something that pencils?
Now they're finding the deals, and they're opening up to other things. So Ken's buying a billboard company because there's some great opportunities in the billboard space because it's 100% tax deductible year one. And so Ken is rearranging his company a little bit right now, and so he's going to have a massive taxable liability, like a few $100 million. So if he buys this billboard company, that offsets his
tax burden.
The tax burden that he's going to need because of what he's doing with everything. But now he's finding some great deals. So over the next 2 to 3 years, over the next 12 months, he wants to buy $1 billion worth of real estate. And he's starting right now. He's $100 million in escrow. And so they just found another deal like yesterday. So they're probably going to get another $100 million in escrow. So I think they're going to get to the. They're going to hit the goal.
And I just wanted over the 3-year period where they got nothing. How did that work?
Just there weren't good deals. So Ken's not going to sacrifice for it. If something doesn't qualify, he's not going to sacrifice.
But how does he, like you said, the people that don't produce get pushed out? If they didn't buy anything,
so
how do you analyze the?
They were just focusing on operations. So he said this is when we 10x down on operating the business and getting it better. And so he told me his company in 2020, if he was going to be honest, was like a C- company. And at the time, he still had 10,000 apartment units. He still had 300 employees. And so he took the past 3-4 years to become a better business, and now he says it's like a B+. And so
he worked in the business, in the business, or on it.
Yeah.
So, I got you.
And now is the time to 100x down on growing it. And so that's what he's going to do.
28,000 units is a lot.
It's a lot of rents.
Yeah, I'm very interested.
But so what would be if you had a 10-year? The ultimate vision, what would it be?
Well, so I don't really raise capital for, like he does, to buy.
You run different businesses.
But just in the real estate space, I want $1,000 personally that's just mine, owned by no one else, with no one else involved.
Yeah.
Right? 1,000 rents, they look pretty well.
I think you could do okay for yourself.
And I need to do about, that would be in a 5-year plan. I like to get to 1,000, a little over 100 now. And I think very quickly, especially with the other businesses supplying the cash, I think I can get to that pretty quickly. But that would be a goal for me. And then ultimately, I'd love to be doing something like Ken is doing, where you are raising capital. Obviously, I don't want to talk about the inner workings and how he structures his deals and how he makes money, but a lot of it is probably knowledge. With the taking investors, investing, paying them off, giving them the waterfalls, getting his everybody paid off, and essentially he refinances out his money and infinite return on the property for sweetie forever. That sounds amazing to me. I'd love to get into that space too, but I've just never actually looked into, like, it's almost like a private equity side, or using investor money to scale. And that's something that would very much interesting. I feel like to get to billions and billions like he's at, you have to do that. It's hard to do by yourself.
Yeah. What I've seen, I think there was a few case studies done. Most people become millionaires from real estate, but almost all billionaires need outsider money. No one just becomes a billionaire by themselves.
Almost all are private equity.
Yeah. So if that's the goal, you need to be in the money of raising capital. And that's the business with the most asymmetry, because you are pooling everyone else's capital and allocating it to the best, or hopefully to a smarter degree. And so, that's the end goal for most businesses, I guess.
Right, and the other thing is, reputation is everything in that space. So, I've made, like we talked about the Portland deal in the last video, that was on paper the best deal ever, and in hindsight, probably not the best deal, right? If you're Tuesday morning quarterbacking it. So, I think if you're using other people's money and you want to continue to go in that direction, you have to hit home runs over and over again, because you always got to. You're right, like I said, reputation is everything. So if you mess up, you lose trust in those people. People aren't going to continue to invest in you. So it incentivizes you to work harder. Make sure you make the best decision all the time, especially with other people's money. And you probably got to bring in a lot of help to do that, because you can't just go off one person's opinion.